everyone, so today we're making apple-filled squash. So you need 1 acorn squash. I already have mine cut in half. You're going to need 1 large apple. I chose Honeycrisp. You can choose whatever kind of apple you'd like. 9 by 13 baking dish with 2 cups of water. You need a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, and cloves, ground cloves. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and 2 tablespoons of butter. So first you're going to cut your acorn squash in half, and then you're going to take a spoon and you're just going to take out the middle section. These are all the seeds and all the kind of the gooey stuff like a pumpkin. The acorn squash is in the same family as a pumpkin. They're both considered squash. So, pull that out. Our squash is our featured food this month. Squash is a great source of vitamin A, which is great for our eyes and our immune system. Squash is also a good source of vitamin C. Vitamin C is great for our immune system as well, especially with the winter months, flu season. And it's also a great source of fiber. Fiber is great for our digestive system. And then we're going to take our squash and we're going to put it face down in the water, just like that. So the water in the pan is going to help steam it and help cook the squash a little bit. So then you're going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 35-40 minutes. Okay, so we have our pan on. I've got it on low. And we're going to add our butter to the pan so that it can melt. And while the butter's melting, I'm going to cut the apple. So if you have one of those apple slicers that already cores it, that's great. But I'm just going to use a knife. Cut it into big chunks. Our apple was our featured food last month. Apple is also a great source of vitamin C and fiber. And the recipe calls to take the skin off the apple, but I'm actually going to leave the skin on the apple just because I like to cook. I like to leave the skin on. Leaving the skin on adds more nutrients and more fiber. So then once this is all chopped up, you can leave it in big or small pieces, whatever you prefer. Okay, so once you have all your apples added to the pan, you're going to take your other ingredients like your cinnamon and nutmeg and you're just going to pour them right over the apples. Use the same spoon. And then we're going to mix this all around with the butter. That way the apple is all coated in all the spices. And we're going to let this cook for about 8 minutes. Alright everyone, so I have my acorn squash out from the oven. And as you can see, I cut it up. There was 2 big halves. I took the water out of the pan and then I cut the 2 halves of the acorn squash so that I had 4 pieces, and then you fill the centers with your apple filling, and then now I'm going to put it back in the oven at 400 degrees again for another like 10-15 minutes, and that's going to help cook everything together.